Good afternoon. Apparently, according to this article that I just read, Canada has resettled, they put it, more refugees than any country in 2018. Wow, that is really something to be proud of, isn't it? Draining our national resources to settle people that could have solved their own problems in their own countries, but it's just easy enough to go to Canada. So the latest one is Venezuela, and really they're willing to stretch their rules about identification and in passports. That's very generous of the Canadian government, and it's all coming out of your pocket and your resources in your city, because I know it's over $1 billion just for the illegals that have come up here so far, and it's going to go on because these people are going to be a drain on the system. There's no two ways about it. There's no checking for their employability. There's no checking for their education or the fact that they're able to work at all. So they could become a burden to the state of Canada for the rest of their lives. But that's, I guess it's a few political points to Trudeau. But there's a lot of Canadians that feel the same way as me. They don't want to give their country away to people from other countries. I just don't really understand the logic of that. Is he getting brownie points from the UN? What's the economic benefit, really, of that? Since you have a bunch of people that are unproven as to what they can do in the country, like our country, and even if they do have a capability of working, they're certainly going to take jobs that Canadians would have had, and certainly our housing resources, food banks, and everything are totally being drained now. So might as well let in some Venezuelans. I don't know if you folks ever had a parent like I did, but he said to me, if you've got a problem, solve it yourself. So that's my message to these countries that have these crises and problems. Solve them yourself. Who says that we are the rescuer of the world? I don't want to be. You know, my lifespan is limited. I'm 63 years old, but there's always my grandchildren to think about and their children. And when you add it all up, the $1 billion+ that have been just spent on illegal immigrants that are coming in through the border there, it's gonna drain our economy on a daily, weekly, hourly, and monthly basis, and yearly basis. So we find ourselves living like the third world. But if you want to re-elect Trudeau, that's what you're going to get, and that's what he signed, is that migrants have more rights than you do. You were born here, you were raised here. They have more of a right to come into your country and take all the resources out of it. So I just can't believe this. I hope it backfires on him. He's acting like Mr. Hero again, like he did with the Syrian refugees. So we're going to have one strange-looking country, no prejudice intended, that looks like the Middle East and also looks like South America. So what can I say? Where are the basic needs of Canadian citizens being looked after? Housing, food banks, the veterans, the homeless, the pensioners, the unemployed. So this is just another funny analogy here. It's like, get your own house in order before you start inviting people over for dinner. It's true. So Canada has not looked after its own citizens at all on a regular basis here, and for sure they're not going to now. They're going to play the hero and look after these people. And I just find the whole thing sickening. The only thing that I can hope is Trudeau. Trudeau is kicked out, and that Scheer closes the border. That's all I can hope for. But that's all politics too. So Hero Justin, let's hope that this latest deal with Venezuela doesn't turn around to bite you in the ass. I really hope it does, though, actually. And again, all these countries around the world, that's great, they have problems. I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry you have problems. But, go back home and solve your own problems. We don't need more and more and more people here. And what about the people that have lived here for generations? So, you can call whatever I've said, whatever bad names, but it's all true. And the needs of our citizens have not been looked after properly. So why should we care? Let's get down to the basics here. If our household is not in order, why should we care who wants to come into this country, why, who they are, etc.? That just goes to show you. Thank you very much.